Hello and welcome. My name's Kathy A. and today I thought I'd talk more to you about what it's like to be a senior on a fixed income. I know this is a little unusual because I'm the gal who used to always go to Sephora and spend thousands of dollars every year on makeup. And then review it for you. It's a different world now, and as you know, I was working full-time right up to late December when I got the call that my senior housing apartment was available and ready to move into. I had been told 3 to 5 years, and they actually contacted me 9 months later, and I had to decide 2 weeks or 1 month whether I can move in or not. I knew it was an opportunity I didn't want to lose out on, and it was Christmas week too. So, I mean, it was a little bit of turmoil. Sometimes we work better under pressure. Anyway, I hadn't really saved up a lot of money. I hadn't really planned on moving. Holiday time, I had spent money on gifts, and I had not really prepared in any way. When I arrived in my new apartment, I spent the first month setting up. My car was acting up a little bit, the tire light came on, and I thought it was just low pressure because it was so cold and we had a lot of snow. So I just kept putting air in my tires thinking that would do it, but the pressure light was still on, the air pressure light in my tires. And then somewhere near the end of January, the engine light came on, and that was a little more serious. I couldn't ignore that. It wasn't a quick fix. And when I had it looked at, it was going to be about a $2,000 repair job. This was a totally unexpected expense, and I wasn't ready. I didn't have enough money. I had to borrow some from some friends and paid my previous bills from Connecticut. I had set up my new utilities. I got my new Wi-Fi and TV and everything set up for the new place. I had all those expenses, plus getting a new license in the new state I had moved to. I'm in Massachusetts now. I had to get my car registered, and it was just, I didn't have enough money. And so where you pull from when you don't have enough money for an emergency is your food money, your fun money, entertainment, makeup, skincare money, all that stuff. That goes first because you want to make sure all your car payments and your rent and your utilities are all paid for. So there I was. I had to wait another 3 weeks before my next Social Security check would drop. I didn't have a job because I was supposedly retired. And it was scary. I was really scared. We have a coffee once a week, like all the people in my building. It's a very social community that I live in. Most of the people are over the age of 65. About 8 to 10 people usually get together. We have, like, I'll bake a coffee cake or something, or muffins or something. And we all sit around, have coffee, and just kind of chit-chat about things going on. And I talked about the problems with my car, and I said, you know, I had to pull all the money from my groceries and fun money. I said, I guess I'm going to have ramen noodles and peanut butter sandwiches the rest of the month. And somebody said, no, you just go to Loaves and Fishes, they'll help you. And I was like, that sounds like a charity thing, you know. And I'm like, well, I don't know about that. And they said, yeah, go over there. They'll give you free groceries. Just go. Just call. I'll give you the number. You can call the lady and tell her that you need some help. So I called and I spoke with Grace, who is the client service person there. And she was awfully nice. She said, yeah, just come on down Wednesday. You know, we're open from 9 to 12. And we'll get you set up with some food. And I thought, okay.
Here we are, headed down into Devon's, and on the right you'll see the volunteers' cars parked, and on the left is Loaves and Fishes, the building, and you'll see on the left here, these are the line of cars that are waiting to be serviced and to pick up their groceries. I'm going to pull up into this driveway and turn around, and I'm going to join the line. It's a really beautiful area, and it's a beautiful day here for this.
Here I was, you know, in line at the drive-through food pantry. I'd never heard of such a thing. I didn't know what to expect. I was nervous. I was ashamed. So by the time I got up to the front of the line, it was deep snow. It was freezing cold out, and these people that were in charge of client services were out cheerful as anything with their coats on and scarves, and the snow was coming down. And they greeted me like I was a long-lost friend. They're like, "We're so glad you're here. I don't remember seeing you. Is this your first time?" And I was like, "Yes." You know, it was just so, they were so kind and so friendly. And they seemed to sense that I was really apprehensive about this process. And I was feeling really down, you know, and upset and out of place, and you know, it's like, what went wrong, you know, in my life to have me sit here in my little car. And they said, "Oh no, just if you want to fill out this form, just fill out what you want to fill out." And there were a lot of cars in front of me. There was, and nice cars too. And I thought to myself, here I am sitting in the line and I'm looking at these nice cars and I'm like, well, what are they doing here? They got nice cars. They can afford food. Why are they here? And then I was thinking, wait a minute. I can afford food too, but I can't this month. And I have my car payment, just like they probably have a huge car payment. They may have lost their job. They may be one of those TSI agents that weren't getting paid during that time. There's a number of ways that you would wind up in this place. So I filled out the form. It was just like name and address, how many people are in the family that I need to feed, and if anybody has any food allergies, or if they have any, you know, like if they're diabetic or if they need gluten-free products, because they actually cater to people's different food needs. And I thought, wow, you know. And it's like, I said, well, it's just me, and I gave them my address. They just want to know that you live in one of the towns. They don't, you know, they don't share your information with anybody. They're extremely private about how they work and who is their client. They were fiercely protected when I later on would go back there to film. So anyway, they said, come on just up to the speaker here, and there was like looked like a drive-in movie speaker. Lady up in the window, up in the building, looking at me, and she said, you know, what's your name? And you know, I told her Kathy A. and you know, where's your town? I told her my town, and she said, well, how many people? I said, one. And she said, is there any special requests? And I was like, well, no, I don't know what to say. So I drove up, and there was a loading dock there, and they were bringing out carts.
What's the last name?
Collins?
As I'm waiting my turn, he's signaling, and I didn't want him to see me, so I hid my camera. This is what you're actually going to see when you pull up to the loading dock. And you're going to pull up past that second orange cone, and they want you to stop your car, and then you can open the door and help get your groceries into your car.
So I'm looking at this, and they've got like 2 carts full of bags of groceries. I mean, I thought I was going to get a little flat with a few cans, maybe a loaf of bread on it. I had no idea what to expect. So as I was loading the bags into the trunk of my car, I couldn't believe how many bags of groceries they were giving me. And I guess they pack about 2 weeks worth of groceries in your order, so that you have about 2 weeks worth of food, so you can have a nice variety, fresh vegetables and fruit. And I got pasta and rice and cereal, and I got all kinds of like frozen meat and chicken, and I was just beyond belief what they had given me. Plus they gave me some pastry treats from a bakery that I donated. I'll get all kinds of different things that have been donated or they purchase from the main food bank.
So after you've gotten your groceries, you're going to turn around this way, go down around the corner, and you usually see their own, that's their truck. And on the left is the loading dock where they unload the trucks and where people can donate boxes of food or bags of food. And up front here, on the left, is in the front of the building. That is some offices, and also there is a break room for the volunteers that has like a little microwave and some snacks and things.
Well, so I got all my bags home and I put them in my cart.
Now here are some samples of some of the food hauls I've received over the past few months.
I think a lot of people have emergencies every now and then that can really wipe them out if they're on a fixed income, either through unemployment or other situations. There's a lot of emergencies that can happen to you. Medical emergencies, taking your pet to the vet, which is a very big expense now, which is shocking how much it costs to have a surgery performed on your pet. A death, a job loss. There's just so many different things that can happen. In the summertime when the kids are out of school, their parents may not be able to afford childcare. So they drop the kids off at the grandparents, and now as a grandparent you have to feed and entertain children, and you don't have the extra money for that. So there's a lot of little things that would add up to needing a little assistance with groceries. Now the government has a program that is what they shortened to SNAP. SNAP was something that families could count on, help from the government to purchase groceries. And it was a little credit card type of thing where you can swipe it through like you would a credit card, but you can only buy food with it. You can't buy alcohol or cigarettes or anything, vaping supplies. I mean, you could only buy food. And it was very helpful to a lot of families to have these SNAP benefits, and a lot of these things were cut. And also children who went to school who were in the lower income category received free lunches or free breakfasts at school, and that was part of the SNAP program as well, and that was cut by this particular government we're living through right now. So the other option for food is your local food pantry. And there's some in pretty much every town or pretty close to your town. There should be some type of a food pantry or food shelter where you can go and either pick up a flat with some groceries that you pick yourself off the shelf, or you can go to a drive-through place where they can give you some groceries. Now these groceries come from a bunch of different places.
The Greater Boston Food Bank is where a lot of the local food pantries source their main staple foods. This huge warehouse holds tons and tons of food that they have to purchase for their different shelters and pantries. It is just amazing how much food is in here. And Loaves and Fishes sends their truck up to get all of the staples and they bring them back. And then they will sort them and then put them on the shelves for future clients. There are also other sources for food. The USPS Letter Carriers Food Drive, they bring in tons of food. And the charity that they have, the Charity Walk for Food, the Scouts are quite active in collecting food, the Air Fire Department.
And there's also everyday people who will donate foods out of their own pantry. Loaves and Fishes was started back in the 1980s. A couple of churches got together and decided to unite to help some of the families who were having struggles. A lot of the local grocery stores donate produce and baked goods. Excess canned goods. A lot of farmers in the area they'll donate some of their produce or meat products. There is such a huge amount of people and places that donate food in a grocery store and stick them in one of those bins in the front of the store. You'll see those for food. Those aren't black hole boxes. Somebody actually does come and take the food out of there, and it winds up going to people who really need a hand up with their groceries. People helping. These were all volunteers, and I came to find out that there were over 400 volunteers that work for this particular food pantry.
These unsung heroes have donated more than 16,000 free hours of labor and love.
They work different days and different shifts. Some of them do just the shopping, the personal shopping. Some of them do the loading of the carts. Some of them take the food off the trucks when they come from the main food bank or from the grocery stores or from people. They receive it from people a lot of times.
They also do a lot of the stocking. They also are drivers, and they will collect the coin canisters and take the food out of the bins. And they really are unsung heroes. Unbelievable hard work, maintenance. This is where they park here on the left-hand side of the road. You'll see them there on any given day of the week.
This is a drive-through food pantry in Devens, Massachusetts. It's a small town, and they handle different towns in the area. It's a rural area, and people need assistance with groceries will go to this drive-through pantry. Now they're open 2-3 times a week. There's usually a 3-hour session window that they're open, and you can either just show up, or they even have an online pre-order system, believe it or not, where you can put in an order, and they should, they'll gather the products that you ask for, or as close to what you ask for as they can find, and they will have the bags out in carts on the loading dock, and you drive up and they'll help you load them into your cart and you drive away.
Okay, well, once you've got your own online ordering code, you get that from Client Services. Go to the website, look on the Need Help, and click on Online Ordering. They will ask you what day you want to come and pick up your actual order, and then they'll ask you email and your code. Alrighty, I going to ask? Repeat last order? Nope. This is a new order. Always want to make a new order. Dietary restrictions? Vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, low sodium, low sugar. Do you have dietary comments, special diets, allergies, etc.? I always put no tuna, no seafood. Okay. Going into the food now. You want some canned tomatoes? Sure. And then I'm going to write down the kinds of canned tomatoes I'd like to have. Diced, Italian, and whole. Canned vegetables, sure. Carrots and I think peas, because I am going to be making shepherd's pie. Now it's a little bit wobbly because I am holding my camera at the same time I'm typing. So it's a little bit dizzying. I apologize. Canned beans, kidney beans, baked beans, and garbanzo. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to spell garbanzo beans. Pretty close. Okay, hearty soup, sure. And be very specific. That's what these lines are for. And they'll read that and they'll try to get as close as they can to what you have. Otherwise, it's a crapshoot. For broth and condensed soup, I love tomato. I always use it in something. Vegetable and cream of chicken. Can always use that as sauces and things. Ramen noodles, no. Dry beans, not for me. Now we've got tuna. How about some flavored rice? That sounds good. Chicken, flavored rice. Sounds simple. White or brown rice. Either is good for me. I'm going to put brown rice first or jasmine rice. So if they don't have brown rice, I'll get the jasmine. Pasta sauce, sure. I've got meat flavor, garlic and onion, and traditional. Pasta, now they've got tons of pasta. From spaghetti to lasagna to shells to noodles. And the helpers, why not a beef helper? That sounds like fun. Macaroni and cheese mix, I'd rather make it fresh. Diapers, diaper size. Then we've got formulas and baby food requests. If it doesn't pertain to you, don't click it off. Okay, these are personal care items. You can pick one of those. And I like the dishwashing detergent and the laundry detergent. Depends, male or female, what size. You want bed pads, Ensure, Glycerna, and they have flavors of vanilla and chocolate generally. I like shelf-stable milk. I use it in cooking. And coffee, tea, or cocoa, yes indeedy. I love K-Cups, medium roast, or medium roast ground, and I use it in my French press. Juice, pineapple juice, cranberry juice, always works for me. Alrighty, baking stuff, yep. I mean, I put in some of the ingredients, but they're more like, they do have mixes, like cookie mix and muffin mix and cake mix, so, but I do put in sugar and flour just in case, and cake mix, baking powder. Snacks, sometimes I'll put potato chips, sometimes I'm in the mood for cake, pie, cookies. Peanut butter, they do have creamy and chunky peanut butter. Jelly, I'm not keen on that syrup that they have that's like a jelly syrup. It doesn't taste real to me, so. But condiments, they have mayonnaise, that sounds good. Cereal. They may have like the fakey versions of the cereals you asked for, but just put down the cereals you like. Make sure to be specific, and they will come close. It won't be such a crapshoot. We have coconut oil, grapeseed oil, olive oil. I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. Toilet paper, they usually give you 2 loaves if you check that off. Carrots, onions, and then I put just 2 or 3, because normally when they give you onions, they give you kind of a big bag of them. Potatoes, you get a big bag of those per person. I put down white russet, but sometimes you just get the gold. For fruit, I put down just about everything, so if they have anything at all, maybe I can get it. And I think banana was the only thing I left off the list there. Vegetables, fresh vegetables. I'm a lettuce, tomato, and celery kind of gal, and I like green pepper. And I put squash down. You hit next, go to the next part. Cheese. Yes, I like white cheddar cheese, and I'm making Italian dish, so Parmesan and mozzarella would be great if they have it. You always get eggs in your order, sometimes 2 dozen. Margarine is kind of your butter choice. I put butter if possible, if you have it, but I hit the margarine and get that. I do have a cookie recipe that uses it. Prepared deli items. Now, these are those meals like, you know, Parmesan with string beans in it. And it's already pre-made and pre-packaged in the dairy counter. So I ask for a sandwich or sub sandwich if they have it. Vegan stuff, no for me. Frozen meat, yep. Hamburger. Pork chops. I'm not holding my breath on that one. Frozen soup. Sometimes they get the Panera Bread broccoli cheese soup, or you get tomato basil soup. But right now, I think the soups that they have frozen are the fish stew and the clam chowder, and I don't want those. Frozen vegetable requests. Corn and mixed is good. Frozen fruit is always awesome. Strawberries and blueberries. I use them in my pancakes and in my baking. Sliced bread, sure. I like multigrain. A lot of times you'll get a fresh loaf, but whatever they give me, I always use it. I love toast. For bakery, rolls is good. Sometimes I'll put bagels or English muffins. Cat food, dog food. Do you have any comments about online ordering? I'm not sure what they're looking for here, but I just give them a compliment and hope I get a good match with a shopper that shops it like they're me, you know, because you do get it like a personal shopper. You hit submit and they tell you it's been received, and then you get an email saying what the order is and lists all the items. It's pretty cool.
I think when you have organizations such as Loaves and Fishes that help people get through a rough patch in their life, even if it's temporary, I mean, some of the elderly people that live in my building go there twice a month, and they've been going for years, and they're going to keep going until their death because their fixed income does not cover their medical expenses for their medicines and things like that. They need to use the money that they would spend on groceries for their medicine. Milk coupons are kind of interesting because they are something you can use in an actual grocery store. It's a particular grocery store that these go to, and they're worth $2 each, and you usually get 2 of them in with your food. And this is so that you can buy the kind of milk or cream product that you want to use. Now, I like to use light cream or half and half in my coffee, so I can buy that with these. These will go towards it, or they can buy it, and if there's a little extra left over, you don't get the change. You just get that item for free. If I get something that costs more than $4, I just pay the difference. So these milk coupons are really cool. Now you just have to put them down first, your milk items first, and then put one of those sticks right after it, and just let the cashier know, I've got coupons for these. That's all you have to say. It's not humiliating, it's not embarrassing, nobody behind you knows what's going on. And they'll say, oh, okay, and they will have you sign the slip, and they put it in as a store coupon. And personally, like light cream or heavy cream are very expensive where I live. And it's just such a godsend to have milk coupons to cover the cost of that.
Okay, what you've been waiting for, let's have a look inside and see what it looks like inside of a food pantry. And I'll try to kind of acclimate you to the processes. But for the most part, a lot of the main aisles look just like a mini supermarket. And there are shopping carts that the volunteers use to shop each order, almost like a personal shopper or an Instacart type of thing. So we're starting off here in this row. Of course, the toilet paper, usually get a couple of rolls of that. And there's nice whole wheat pasta here. Again, they aim for healthy. They aim to have a good variety of food that's not just junk. And they have a lot of really interesting options. Now, there's a donated oatmeal, and then here's some instant oats for the general crew. Those special ones were donated. Here's some grits. My mom used to make grit patties where she would make them up, and then we would fry them the next day and have maple syrup on them. Yep, we got some cereal here, and a lot of these unusual ones are donated. And then there's the standard generic brands that they have also. But you will see a lot of things that people have donated, and those are very special. A little bit of everything. The bagged ones come from the Boston Center. And here's some more cornflakes, rice biscuits, a little bit of everything. Curiosity killed the cat. Here, I've got to see what this one is. Oh, chocolate Special K. And they have the boxed macaroni and cheese mix and the instant. You'll see them there. This is pancake mix, I believe. This is a standard brand that they have, and you'll see these blue stickers on the shelves. It says quantity 1. That's per person in the family. We have black beans and lentils. Those are really nice as fillers in stews. And then we've got some nice wide egg noodles. And elbow macaroni. Can do a lot with that. I like to make my fresh mac and cheese with that. And there's sort of different other kind of pastas, box pastas, everything from elbows to rotini to ziti. Okay, thank you. I don't know what's going on there. I'm looking at stuff and I'm carrying the camera with me. I'm so sorry. I don't pan very easily. Some oven-ready lasagna, my goodness, and we have some cooking oil. So that's what the row looks like, and there's the people scattering away because they see my camera. You would have thought I was pointing a gun at these people. Every time I came around the corner, they would just flee. Here's a nice canned vegetable section with corn and carrots and green beans. And then here's some applesauce and pears, and we have mandarins in the back. There's some applesauce pouches, nice chickpeas. There's a little bit of everything there, a lot of different brands. And you see it says quantity 1 there for bag 2. Yep, I don't know why I feel compelled to twist all of the things and face them. That's an old habit of mine, I think, from Stop and Shop days. Okay, here's some tuna fish. And we also have some nice white chicken. This is great for chicken salads. And then we have the canned version of the chicken breast, which is good. Spam, 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 spam. Spam light. Did I see that right? And we have corned beef hash in the background there. That's the healthy section. We have juice buddies, and we have orange and grape in that. We have nice blueberry juice, cranberry juice. And down here we have the shelf-stable milks. We have almond milk, whole milk, 2%, 1%, no percent. They're really good for baking. You can add vinegar to them to make kind of a buttermilk substance if you don't happen to have any at home and you're baking. I, of course, immediately went to the buttery cashew toffee crunch and the blue gummy sharks. We have some healthier rice crackers there and a lot of Girl Scout cookies. Yeah. Those are particularly good. We have some refried beans. A lot of these were donated. You could tell the ones that are the name brands are donated. And there's our tomatoes. We have whole, stewed, diced, Italian style. And then the corn. Dolly is one of the generic brands that they use. And artichoke hearts. And in this box, coming for July of 26, those are potato chips and Doritos. And we have Ensure in chocolate and vanilla, and we have Glucerna in chocolate and vanilla. And we have various toothpastes. A lot of these were donated. You can tell all different flavors, all different brands. There's toothbrushes behind there and also to the side. I'm all nosy, so I'm looking at everything. And then that's a special toothpick kind of thing. We have some wipies, baby wipes. Look at, they've got some deodorants in the back there, male and female deodorants. Then we have laundry detergent, and we have dishwash detergent. And you know, this blue one in the back here, this is their cheapy home brand. It actually works really well, the Ultra Fresh. I like it. And then they have the shaving stuff. So if you check that off in your personal required thing, they usually give you some of that and some shave cream. And then we're going into the adult protective underwear, Depends, the pads, a little bit of everything in all different sizes, and everything from a major downfall to a giggle and sneeze. All right. So poise 6, 5, 4, 2, and 3. That must be the giggle and sneeze size. And we have the children's pull-ups and baby diapers. We have baby snacks. And then we have beech nut baby food. And we have some cereals, toddler and baby cereals. And then we've also got some formula. And there's several different types of formula. And they've written the dates on some of these boxes, and there's these arrival dates. And then the different diapers are marked by age group as well. And you get a really nice amount of each. I think they want to last for a week to 2 weeks. There's some baby wipes. There's some menstrual stuff, extra heavy. Boy, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with that stuff anymore. Oh, and here's some more lady stuff. This is menstrual pads lighter, and then we have all-purpose compact tampons. I'm getting a little rambunctious in this section here. Oh, and those things can be expensive. And then we have bed pads, which is a very convenient thing. Oh, hello, sunshine. Hey, he's a happy boy. Well, he's got some large 30 times. We have a first aid section, and we have mouthwash, and we have moisturizer and soap and shampoo and hair stuff. Oh my goodness, there's a nexus. A little bit of everything. A lot of these things were, again, they were donated, so you just never know what your personal shopper for your order is going to pick for you. Now here's just a row of peanut butter and jellies, and then we've got spaghetti sauces, soups, we have corned beef hash, hearty soups, chili. There's that creamy chicken soup I ordered earlier. And those people are, I mean, it's just a sea of people doing the shopping. So here's some nice cake mixes and brownie mixes. We've also got frostings, muffin mix, teas and coffees. And look, we've got some Knorr rice mixes. Really fancy, rice-a-roni, rice pilaf. And there are some things that were donated. With the tea. Oh, and I spotted the K-cup, so I'm inspecting the different brands, what they have. And I always wind up with that yellow one, though, unfortunately. That one, I always get that one, and that's not even a medium roast. Boy, don't I sound spoiled. Okay, we're going around the corner here, and this is the fresh produce. This is all those onions, carrots, potatoes. You always get those in your order. Sweet potatoes, too, I see. English cucumbers. And up here is a guide for the volunteers to tell them if it's a family of 3, they need 5 bags of potatoes, carrots, onions. They tell them how much to have. Now, there's some nice lettuce up here. This is near the end of this session, so they're down to the dregs. We've got asparagus and bok choy, and we've got some coleslaw mix. avocados, mixed vegetables. We've got some eggplant down there and some chives, cut up turnip. Oh, some nice lettuce. I don't know why I feel compelled to touch everything. It's probably not the best. Okay, that was a cucumber, and there's like, well, I don't know what you would use that many radishes for, but this is a big old bag of radishes, and zucchini, and yellow squash, and green peppers, cauliflower, bag of lemons to make lemonade with, beautiful tomatoes. And I'm just nosy-posy here. Oh, some nice turnips. They're really good. You simmer them with a little brown sugar, and here's some raisin packets for the kids. And then if you're baking with raisins, these are great. These natural raisins in the big packet. Going around the corner. Oh, we've got some really nice-looking food here. But I have been pulled to the side. This is the pastry thing, and this changes all the time. I am all excited about this, and it's like I'm filming, but I want some of this stuff. They have cupcakes and cake and pies, cookies, shortbreads, banana bread. And all of these things are not expired. They're still good. And if it's your birthday, you can request a birthday cake, and if they have one, they would take one, like something off the bottom there. They would take that and make sure you got that. You have to request it, though, when she asks you if there's any special requests. There's some carrot cake there. Yummy. Boy, that looks good. All right. Well, let me go back to business here. This is hot dog buns, and we've got some Panera Bread English muffins and Panera Bread bagels.
That's great.
Over here we have some fresh loaves and some factory loaves, multigrain, baguettes. Here's a big frozen vat of frozen corn. And then this is the gluten-free frozen breads and pastry. That's really nice that they have that in the vegan pastry and bread. And then we have eggs, butter, and margarine. And a little higher up, we have the Parmesan cheese, and then the mixed cheeses on the left there. We have white and yellow cheddar cheese. And then we have some other assorted cheeses up here, some more margarine. And then these are those pre-made meals, the Parmesan with string beans on the side, things like that. And then we've got a whole bunch of different types of berries and cherries and grapes. Raspberries, blackberries, blueberries. Now this is the cooler. And when you walk inside, they keep all of the stuff cold in that cooler. And then if they have frozen stuff like this chowder and fish stew, and all of these meats, you're going to see them all. There's lots of different things here. Hot dogs and chicken tenders, meatballs, sausage, short ribs. There's lots of different types of fish, and you can see that they want 2 units of that and 1 unit of the other thing. Ground turkey, you get 1 unit. They want you to have at least 2 of those protein units, and there's some nice cut-up chicken. And they are kept in the freezer section. This is the freezer. You can see the Tyson boxes on the left there. That was ice cold in there. Alrighty, we're going to unload and sort deliveries. This is that loading dock I showed you earlier. And through those doors on the inside, it's a little bit chaotic. They had just received a truck order, so they hadn't had time to sort through, but they normally would. The delivery would come through this door, these double doors here, and they would set all the boxes down, and they would go through them on this wooden table. Everybody would sit around, and they would sort through, take out the broken, damaged, or expired stuff, and anything that is good, they're going to check onto these shelves, which are the back stock. They pull from these to refill the main shopping area. Now these are some of the back stock shelving. This is the soup and peanut butter aisle. There's the dreaded ramen noodle one. Somebody told me though that you can use the ramen noodles in other dishes and not use the packet, and they flavor the other dishes with a nice texture. There's a million peanut butters here. You can see the dates that they arrived, at the center, and we'll probably use these first, the January ones, and then the April ones will go next. And then we've got a million chicken noodle soups. These were obviously bought in Boston. Now we're all set for winter. Now these are the gluten-free bins, and so if they have somebody who is gluten-free, they can come here and pick different items from that. They are very, very sympathetic to people who have dietary issues. And then there's more chickpeas than you'll ever use in your whole life in those white boxes. Again, people were fleeing right and left like brandishing a knife. Okay. There's some grape juice buddies there, and then we've got other juices, cranberry, cherry. And then we have boxes of teas and coffees. And down here we have our personal item backup. So when it gets low in that area, they will refill from here. Staging, okay. This is important because when you pull in and you call in an order, this is basically the process. See, this table is covered with bags, but each row, if you look straight down, each row going towards the back, not sideways, not side to side, but to the back, there's like 4 to 6 bags. That's one regular standard order, and they will put that in a shopping cart and they will add to it depending on how many family members you have. And then sometimes they'll drag another cart behind them so that they fill the 2 carts. And then they will go and get the dairy products, the fresh fruit and vegetables, and the frozen stuff and add them to the order. So, and dog food, things like that, depending on what you need when you pull up and you do that order. Every single order is different, a little bit different. It's packed by a couple of different people on that day, on that given day. And it's really quite a system. But if you look straight back, they each have bags 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll see the shopping cart in the background there. She's explaining this to me. Christina was so nice with me and so patient, trying to explain everything. That's her hand. She also dodged the camera though. But this is one of the setups here. This is the four bags of the basics, and then this is some more that they had to add because it's a larger family. And they will wheel that out as soon as they get all of the dairy stuff. See, they have more carts there for backup. Sometimes you'll see people have 3 carts, and they will get that. Now this is a chart where they can keep track of the cars coming in and how many people they have to feed for each car. So it's really quite a science. They also have a vegan and gluten-free area. This is the vegan area here on the left, and they have their preset bags also. And they will also get their vegetables and frozen stuff and everything picked when they pull up. This is the gluten-free section. Again, it's like 3-4 bags. And then right at the entrance to the exit, they have the bags that have dish soap, shampoo, and 2 bars of soap. They'll add that at the last minute to stuff. And don't forget kitty. We've got kitty food. We have the liquid and the kibble. And then for puppy, we have all kinds of stuff. We have science diet stuff. We have canned and kibble. And these are donated by animal welfare leagues. Ooh, good and fun. Yummy. Okay, shopping is neat because shopping is, it's almost like a personal shopper. You know, the order I put in online, this is what she's looking at. She's got a printout of that order, and she is now placing it. She's going through just like an Instacart shopper would. She was awfully nice. She was explaining everything to me. Now this person, they have a toddler. They need size 4, and so she's checking them off as she gets the things, and she said that they pay a lot of attention to each order, and they try to buy things based on the family size and who's in the family. So she's getting some laundry detergent. And now she knows there's somebody who wears size 4 pull-ups, so she's going to look at some of the food, the canned food on the other side to see if she can find something fun. She's got some crackers, toddler crackers, and then she's going to go over and get some of the good stuff. In the meantime, I'm looking over here at all of these different pastas and things. And look at this pie filling and pumpkin pie filling. That'll probably be given out a lot towards the holidays.
Sure is.
And Peeps frosting.
And you know what else?
There's a frosting tube too.
Something new that we're doing is we
Probably
have, like,
donated.
this is
And
like
they
a
have these new
item.
red stickers, which
ramen
they don't want to give
noodles.
too many of the red stickers out to people because those are less healthy items.
If you look, there's like a yellow or
Quantity one.
depend.
And there's that on the left there, that's that jelly I don't like. But I do like these other ones, the Smuckers and the Welch's and stuff. So she's picked up a few things, and she's going to explain to me that since it's a size 4 toddler pull-up, she got something fun for him.
Expired or that we get in that we
Like a
give
And it's the
Friday after the
ABC
last session?
macaroni,
So I'm like,
so
okay,
that he can have a fun lunch.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of caring that goes on and a lot of research that goes on behind the scenes. So here's another row. Looking at all of the extra stuff, baking stuff, dry beans, and then there's a lot of gluten-free stuff here as well. And a lot of these are extras, so if a shopper feels like it's an extra large family or something, she'll pull an extra item off of here just as an extra bonus. Look at that King Arthur baking mix. I'd love to score that. Okay, we have Cheerios and rice and tea. Pasta sauce, a little extra of everything. Gluten-free cheddar. And so they may put a couple of those in a gluten-free person's order. Nice when the vegetable thing is full, that's what it looks like. So in the very last stage of shopping is when they hand it over to the people who will actually bring the groceries out to the loading dock and help assist people put them in their cars. Now 40 to 80 cars visit the pantry every session, so that's a lot of food. So what happens to perishable food at the end of the week? Well, it goes by truck to other local food pantries, and if it's gone past, guess who gets it? The local farms, and they get some happy animals because they get all those vegetables.
So when I got home and I opened all of the bags, I just felt so grateful and so blessed that I received all of this food for free to help me along in this really rough time in my life. I think when you are going through a tough time, it's those little acts of kindness that can make a huge difference in, bringing you back up. And that was it. This was it. And it's a silly little thing. It's a $3 package of cookies. And you have no idea the effect of something like this on somebody. You don't know. Whoever did this, wow, thank you. So when you are shopping in the grocery store, a lot of times you'll see a big bin in the front of the store that says for food drive or for the local food charity or whatever, and you think it's a black hole. You're like, oh, nobody's taking that to people that need it. I'm not going to bother. But actually, somebody did bother. And just a little thing like a package of granola bars or a package of oatmeal with all the different packets of the different flavors, or a package of cookies, Oreos, or a thing of goldfish crackers, or, I mean, it's just so many little things that are special that you don't normally see. When you get food from a food pantry, usually they have some standard generic brand stuff that they get from the main food bank. These are donated by people. When you are shopping, you're buying some granola bars for yourself, buy another box and put it in that bin, because it does wind up in somebody's hand at the other end. When you are going through a tough time and you don't have your parents, you don't have your family, you don't have close friends that can help you, or you're too ashamed to ask them for help, it's really nice to know that there's somebody out there that can help you. That it's their sole purpose is to make sure you're healthy and to make sure you're okay and that you're thriving. And they check every single car. They check to make sure are you okay? Everything going all right? You know, people are caring about you as a part of their community. They want to make sure you're okay. So it's so much more than just groceries. Now, it's been a few months since I started going there, and I don't really need to go there now, and so I've stopped being one of their clients. I'm back on track, so I mean, the worst is over for me, but I'm telling you, they made it so doable with their help and their assistance. I am just so indebted to them, and they're just wonderful people. You can donate something, your time as a volunteer, some extra food you may have in your pantry, or maybe some funds so they can buy staples to help people in your community. It's such a wonderful thing, and it's not a black hole charity. It's local. It's right where you are. I would never ask you for money for me. I want your views, I want your comments, but I never ever want your money, and I'll never email you or message you and ask you for money. But I will, in this case, give you the address for Loaves and Fishes. You can go to their website and you can make a small donation. But if you can help in any way with your own local food pantry, please do so, because there's real people on the other end of that. And it may surprise you who has to get food from a food pantry. You never know. Patricia, who is the director of Loaves and Fishes, told me the families have increased over 82% in the last few years. 82% more people are using the food pantry than 3 years ago. And that says a lot about what's going on in the world and in our communities. And it's also really important for you to understand that people are struggling. Now that we've gone over everything, I hope you've enjoyed this video and you've gotten something from it. Special thanks to Grace, Christine, Patricia, and all of the volunteers over at Loaves and Fishes in Devens, Massachusetts. You're a wonderful crew, and what you do is so special. I feel very blessed, very grateful to live in this area and know that a special place like yours, Loaves and Fishes Food Pantry, is in existence. It was a wonderful experience. I hope you all are well. Have a wonderful week and have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.